Alright everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video with Fat Phil. And this is kind of going to go along with our harsh opinions videos that we've been doing, but we're going to look at some of the most useless leadership abilities in the game. And this is going to be some characters that you guys use all the time, some characters that we just don't use as a leader. Hopefully you guys enjoy this list, hopefully you enjoy the video. Try to do a little bit of fun things here on the channel. Before we dive into that list, you guys know the drill. First and foremost, we need to pay homage to the king. Guys, Wampa wants to be Relic 8 and he needs your help to get there. What can you do, you ask? Get this channel to 5,000 subscribers. It's free, guys. All you need to do is press that little subscribe button, not asking for anything else. Getting this channel and helping it grow can do so much. I really appreciate all the love and support this channel has been getting so far, guys. So, let's get into our useless leaders list, guys, and we're going to start it off strong with Admiral Piet. This is the most useless leadership. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have the Zeta on him because it makes your executor better. But it is a useless leadership because he's never outside of the General Veers team. You're always going to use him with Veers. I've never once used this leadership ability. And it's not, it doesn't really look that great. It's not, I've never used it, so I can't say if it's good or not. But why would you ever use it when he's that good inside of the General Veers Imperial Trooper team? It's comical. It's a useless leadership ability. It's one that I don't know that anybody's ever actually used it. And frankly, I don't recommend using it because he's already amazing inside of that General Veers team. Next on this list, guys, is Ahsoka Tano, and this is just comedy hour. So she's a 501st Galactic Republic Jedi tag. And her leadership, Jedi and Night Sister allies gain 14% evasion and gain 20% turn meter when they evade. I will say this, back in the day, evasion was just the most, like, if you guys think the dodge crons were annoying, it's because it was giving flashbacks to us when people would run Ahsoka Tano, Luminara, Old Ben leads, and you'd watch them dodge for forever. That was a meta back in the day in Arena, like way back. I'm dating myself. What makes me laugh is that there's Night Sister synergy in here. Like, there's nothing in her kit that helps Night Sisters. She doesn't even have a Night Sister tag, so there's nothing that helps Night Sisters outside of that ability, and it's always cracked me up. Like, it's just terrible. And you know, at this point, 14% evasion, 20% turn meter when they evade. Again, back in the day, that was a pretty decent leadership. Now, there's unique abilities that are better than this. It's useless, especially because you never use her outside of Padme lead, General Kenobi lead, or not General, Jedi Master Kenobi lead, or even like with the 501st if you don't have one of those clones for some reason. It's brutal. Like, this is a brutal truth, but yeah, just terrible leadership, useless. All right, we got Poe Dameron next on the list, guys. We're going to be kind of moving through these. So he is a leader for the Resistance. Resistance allies gain 30% offense and 15% potency. That is embarrassing. That should be a unique. Like, that is a horrible leadership. Look, Poe has, 22% tenacity, recovers this. He's been in the game since, I think he's been in the game since launch. So I'll at least give the credit that it's an older kit. But you look at something like Admiral Piet's kit here, and 60% counter chance. Look at this is a unique, right? Like, look at all this stuff in here. That's a unique ability. You even go down to Ahsoka Tano. That's a unique ability. And then you're telling me that, Resistance allies, Resistance allies gain 30% offense and 15% potency. Like, that is just terrible. That should be a unique. They just need to update the kit. All right, guys. So I have all our useless, and this isn't exactly true. This is the point I want to make. So you've got Fifth Brother, who you actually do need, right? Where the joke lies in here is that all of these other leadership abilities are pointless because you're never going to run them outside of the Fifth Brother lead. Because in 3v3, if you don't have Grand Inquisitor, you're not going to have a full team of Inquisitors to be able to take, you're not going to have two full teams of 3. So Fifth Brother lead is the one that makes sense. That is the best leadership before Grand Inquisitor. Then when you unlock Grand Inquisitor, you run Grand Inquisitor, you run the 2 other Inquisitors you're going to use with him, and then you run Fifth Brother lead. Then you go and unlock Reva, you say. And right now, Reva is like the greatest thing since sliced bread, and or even Grand Inquisitor can't compete with her leadership. But you get Third Sister, and then you get to this point where you're arguably going to be running Third Sister, Grand Inquisitor, another one of these guys up here, and then you're going to run Fifth Brother with 2 other Inquisitors, and then you have 2 other ones that are just kind of sitting there looking pretty. Like that is the truth of that. You're not going to have enough of those characters, or maybe it's 1 that gets kicked out. Maybe 1 gets kicked out, or is it 2? In 3v3, it's 1. In 5v5, it's 2. So, because of the way that their kits are built, you really only want Fifth Brother lead. And even then, I don't think it's worth an Omicron ability because it's a territory war Omicron, and that's what Grand Inquisitor is built for. But even those kind of feel wasted right now because Riva's leadership is that much better. So you almost feel bad for anybody who went and did get Grand Inquisitor's leadership, and gave it the Omicrons, because right now those are kind of wasted if Riva's just going to end up staying around where she is. So again, guys, I'm not going to say that, you don't want to maybe invest in that, because if they do end up fixing Riva's kit in any way, Grand Inquisitor is the leader for Territory War. But I did want to call this out because I have seen people who will have these Omicrons on these characters. You only really need Fifth Brothers, and even then, no Omicrons here. You only want Omicrons right now really on Third Sister until they figure out what the heck they're going to do with her kit, and then you can decide if Grand Inquisitors are worth it for Territory Wars. Greedo's kit is next, and you just have to laugh at this. So, Scoundrel allies gain 50% damage. Now, I do understand that bounty hunters have their contract, right? So, damage an enemy with less than 50% turn meter 10 times, and then all bounty hunter allies gain another 50% critical damage. So, bounty hunter allies basically get 100% critical damage. That's the only thing in his leadership. That is the only thing in his leadership that it's literally saying that he gets 100% critical damage. That's his leadership. It's embarrassing, right? And and even this contract, right, with less than 50% turn meter. So, you've got a target. Like that's a very specific kind of flux. I don't know. There's much better leaderships in the game, much easier contracts to hit than that one. And for the bonus of what? It's bad, and that's why I'm just laughing at him. That is horrible. All right, next we've got Zam Wessel, and the comment being Boba is better. So the bounty hunter allies gain 25% potency. They recover 4% health and protection whenever an enemy is dealt damage by a thermal detonator. When they use a special ability, they inflict thermal detonators on a target, which can't be evaded. And then their contract is inflict thermal detonators. And then the reward: all bounty hunter allies inflict thermal detonators on all enemies whenever they die, which can't be evaded. All bounty hunter allies have paths. Boba's is so much better than this, and here's why I say that. We go to Boba's leadership because this is all built around, remember, this is all built around thermal detonators, right? That's basically what her leadership is saying. Well, guys, Boba Fett in Dead or Alive, 1, you're going to get 50% critical damage, so now Greedo is in tiers. You're going to get 10% critical chance. You get 15 speed for each debuffed enemy. You gain max health equal to 50% of the total potency of all bounty hunter allies, and gain 15% turn meter whenever a thermal detonator explodes. And then your contract is kill the enemy who moves first, and you're going to get 25% tenacity, which isn't really that good. But the rest of this stuff is amazing. It's just that turn meter you get from his leadership is really, really good. I've been debating in 3s running Boba Fett lead with Zam and Dengar and just trying to get them to take, ridiculous amounts of turns running trains on people because of all the thermal detonators exploding. Boba's is just so much better than Zam's. It's a horrible leadership. Finally, Princess Leia, and she's a launch character, I get it, but Rebel allies gain 20% critical chance. That's the only thing in her leadership. That is horrible. This is it. And I get she's been in the game for a long time, but when the game first came out, almost every single character had a lead. And even now still, if we go back out here, how many characters have leadership abilities? It's a lot, right? You look at all the different leaders in this game. More often than not, a character has a leadership, which is kind of crazy. And some of the launch characters, their leadership abilities are just brutally terrible. Brutally terrible. There's some that I can say I've never used in the leader slot. But you know, Princess Leia, like there could be so much better with this, and it's just, yeah, 20% critical chance. Do you want to know why that's ridiculous? Because on her basic, right, she's or no, is it her basic or her unique? Whenever Leia attacks, yeah, 55% chance to grant all allies critical chance up for 2 turns. So she's already giving them additional critical chance from her buff. So now you're just getting more of it from her leadership. I mean, cool, but most of the rebel characters are critting anyway. So it's just, these are just terrible. And these are just, you know, useless leaderships that I found that I thought it'd be fun to call out, you know, for some harsh opinions here. I mean, not really that harsh. They're just, you know, I think the Piet one is funny because you do need this for his ship. Same thing with like your, you know, Ahsoka Tano. You're going to want that for her ship. Poe Dameron, you want it for his ship. Same thing too with Second Sister. Now, not the Omicron, or not the Zeta. I'm not doing, or that was her unique. Like, I'm not putting this on. But I do have this leveled up compared to, I don't know why I did her. I can't remember why. But him, Eighth Brother, we didn't even bother leveling it up because it's just not worth it. Seven Sister, same thing. We're not going to level those abilities up because it's just not worth it for me to use them. But that's the list, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. As always, like and subscribe, leave comments. I love all of you. May the Force be with you, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Cheers.